Town of Arras, Woodbury. I like that before, what was said, just because life's not fair doesn't mean you have to grin and bear it. Probably won't forget that. I want to talk a little bit about the referendum that we had in June and what's going on with it. I just, when I think of what of American government processes, what's more sacred than the democratic vote that we have? And, can any of you, can anyone in the room think of a more important process to us, as a country, as a civilization, as local populations? Because I can't. The legal process for the renovation referendum was tainted. We all know that. I don't think anybody's arguing that. If I understand correctly, you plan to go before a judge to ask him or her to accept the results of this incomplete and tainted process for that vote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You didn't care enough to do it right, yet you want the judge to say it's all right. I don't understand that. It just seems like you're doing things in a wrong order. I believe the Board of Ed can decide not to accept that vote. This is the board's first meeting tonight, and I'd like to ask you to add it as an agenda item to tonight's agenda to vote on not accepting, in essence, voiding the results of that vote. We deserve to know what board members' individual stance is on following that prescribed legal procedure. I also believe it's less expensive to re-vote than to litigate. And I don't know why we would choose the litigation path right away. We deserve to know if you care enough to basically keep the system honest. I don't feel that sending a message to the community that you don't care about following law is something that you want to be proud of or ought to be proud of. And I ask that you do the right thing and nullify the vote and do the process over again properly this time. It's unfortunate that it happened, as I said online, but yet it did happen. And it's an incomplete procedure the way it stands right now. And asking a judge to say what wasn't right is all right isn't the way to go about it. And I'd also like to bring this in front of you. You've all agreed, especially the two new people, this is the oath of office that they took in Woodbury. Do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully discharge, according to the law, the duties as a member of the Board of Ed for the, and it was Region 14 that our town clerk read in, to the best of your ability, so help you God. And that's what you swore to when you signed on as a board member. And we know what the law is in this case, and the law was not followed. And I ask you to live up to your responsibility, your sworn responsibility, and abide by it. You have the power to do that here tonight. And I would ask that you add that to the agenda tonight and discuss it.
I don't believe we have the right to nullify a referendum of the people. The people voted, it's a referendum of the people. I don't think we have the right to do that.
It was an improper vote, though. The procedure wasn't
Yes,
followed.
but that hasn't been, that has not been finalized.
I believe it's been agreed that it hasn't been followed.
So why would you go
Carol,
like that?
excuse me, this is privilege of the floor. You are perfectly welcome to make your comments, but we aren't necessarily going to be taking any action this evening or commenting this evening. So, feel free to.
Are you speaking for the person that's commenting?
No, I'm asking, I'm
Okay.
saying to you, Tom, that this is privilege of the floor. This is your opportunity to state what you need to state here. We're not, as a board, going to be responding.
Okay, but you have the opportunity to respond if you so opted. And I would take it that if you opt not to, we can kind of read the meaning into that too. Thank you.
Just for everyone's up-to-dateness, generally privilege of the floor is open. The board is not obligated to respond to anything, and all privilege of the floor statements is directed to the board chair. The board chair then needs to have something clarified, then he or she can ask for clarification from the board. Just so that everyone has a fair, open opportunity to speak and not have any confrontation, both on either.
Anybody else?
Gary, so switch wood